Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be analyzing patch 11.8 nodes and be talking about all the major changes going on this patch. A lot of the changes have to do with mid lane buffs and nerfs, some top laner stuff, and also junglers. So I'd say mid lane and jungle are the most affected, and then there's also some item changes like support items, and we'll get right into it. Also, this is a patch of Gwen. She's kind of an AP champion. Might be a mid laner, might be a jungler, might be a top laner. We'll see, we'll see. I'll probably make another video on her when I get the chance, because she seems pretty fun to play. Anyways, let's just get right into this. We can just do it chronologically. There's not too many important changes this patch. Like, none that's super OP, anyways. I guess there is a little bit of a Rammus ulti change, so we'll go over that first. So Rammus ult, so instead of just doing the shockwave where he just does AoE damage, now he can launch himself in the air and land somewhere and then do damage that way. So bit of an update to his kit, more in line with like the recent seasons in champ design. But the big thing here is actually this, the W change. The basic attacks now extend the duration of his defensive ball curl. That means his jungle clear is also going to be stronger now. So who knows, maybe we'll see some Rammus being played, you know. We'll see, we'll see. Okay. Also Cassiopeia buff. Per E costs less mana. Does this change anything matchup wise? Not really, but it's pretty nice mid late game, so we take those as Cassio players. Annie nerf, more mana cost on her wave clear early, so it's a nerf to mid lane Annie. Aphelios buff, basically just buff his damage. He gets more lethality from his passive, and then his ulti does more damage, more healing, more root duration, etc. Dr. Mundo, this is a nerf to Dr. Mundo jungle, okay? So here's an important change. So his Q at rank 1 can do 300 damage to monsters, but now it's going to be only a maximum of 100, so yeah, that kind of blows for Mundo jungle. So they're looking to make Mundo top more of a thing. He gets more health regen now. His E got nerfed, like this is just a nerf, 10 less 80. The main change is that he does less damage to jungle camps, but he gets more every time you land a Q, you get 100% health back, so you can just spam Q off cooldown basically. Narc Nerf, this is a nerf for Nars level 1 to 11. You get less move speed when you triple proc your auto attack passive, so 40%, so you don't get to your normal move speed until level 11, which is 60%, king over 3 seconds. Leblanc Buff, I mean it's nice, but it's not too significant. She's not going to be like meta now. Basically she just does 20 more damage on her Q at all points in the game. Pretty nice, especially level 2, but I don't think this is enough to make her super strong, because wave clear is the issue, I'd say. Lee Sin E buff, 2 seconds lower cooldown, meaning he can clear jungle a little bit quicker. Orianna Nerf, her E, her ball, if you apply it to a teammate or yourself, you get armor and MR, but they nerf the rate at which you get, so 10, 6, 15, 12. By the end rank you have the same, but because you max this skill last on Ori, yeah, you're just going to be down like 4 MR for most of the game, 4 armor and MR. Doesn't really do much though, like Orianna's not going to leave meta because of this change. It doesn't really do much, honestly. We already went over Rammus. Rumble. Okay, so they're nerfing him as a mid laner. As you can see, he has a lot less magic resist, flat and growing, right? So takes more damage in the mid lane, but they added a 6% max health ratio to his passive. When he overheats, his auto attacks do bonus damage. So they want to put Rumble in the top lane. That's what the change is. Also, he gets 50% attack speed when he procs his passive now. That wasn't a thing before. So he can auto a lot more. And then his E, his little harpoon thing, it reduces MR by 10% or 15% depending on heat. So up to a max of 20% or 30%. So yeah. Just buffing his damage, but a nerf to a mid lane because he's easier to burst now. Thresh nerf, just utility cooldown, you know. Once you max it, it's all the same. Vladimir Buff, this might be a little bit decent actually, because 4-second cooldown compared to 5-second, that's pretty significant. So level 9 Vladimir like might be pretty strong. I'm not 100% sure if he'll like actually be strong because of this, but I mean, as a Vlad player, if you're a Vlad player, this is pretty nice. This Q is your main cooldown. Also, there's another change. I'll go back down to this real quick. That might synergize with Vlad, because, okay, Rocketbelt loses 100 health, but it gives 6 magic penetration now. So that's kind of nice, so maybe Vlad takes advantage of that. Who knows? Alright, going over to York now. Just less damage. His zombies do less damage. The zombies leaping do less damage, but he gets this. So before, when your ulti, your maiden, attacked the tower would just target the maiden. But now it targets the melee and ranged minions over the maiden. So York can take towers a bit easier now. It's nice for split push, but his damage is overall pretty nerfed. But I'd say he's still in a decent spot. Zac W damage increase. This is just 10 flat damage, 25 to 35, and then 40 to 50. So starting at the first rank, you could just get 10 more damage. They didn't really increase any ratios. Oh, actually they did increase ratios. Holy shit. I mean, it doesn't really matter though. Zac's not going to build AP. 2% per 100 AP to 4% per 100 AP. Pretty nuts. Alright, and then Darius Jungle. I'm glad they nerfed this. They used to have this at 500% instead of 300%. But they shifted out to live at 300%, so Darius Jungle is not going to be Giga OP. But will he be viable? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Diana Jungle Buff. She does more attack speed. Still the max is the same, 40%, 40%, but instead of starting off at 10%, you start off at 20%, which is nice. And then you also do more damage to jungle monsters from 150% to 300%. I'm really not sure why Riot keeps doing these changes to champion laners that they want to be junglers. Half damage against all monsters. Okay, that's somewhat significant. 20 to 164 to 180? Huh. Interesting. Maybe it's good. Maybe Mordekaiser Jungle was a thing. Zed Jungle. Seems like a bit of a nerf, honestly. Wait, no. Affects all targets once every 10 seconds. This means Zed can just spam execute what do you call it? Jungle mobs, because this 10-second cooldown is only on champions now. So every time Zed autos a jungle monster under 50% health, he'll do like 6% to 10% max health damage versus it, and it's not on a cooldown anymore. This is actually a Zed Jungle buff. Interesting. And they're also buffing Morgana Jungle. Her W does more damage to it. I don't know, man. Riot's really fucking wild with that shit. Okay, big support changes. Actually, let's go over these first. Okay, so this is basically just an Urgot Nerf. Equal to 1% max health. This also is a nerf to Shield Bow Irelia, actually. There's 1% max health and percent bonus health. So rushing Titanic is a lot less good. Like, instead of getting its second item, you probably get it way later in the build now. Already went over Rocketbelt. Ionian Nerf, they made it 50 gold more expensive. This is a nerf to jungle and mid lane. Maybe support, but mostly jungle, because gold is really scarce in the jungle, so this 50 gold is pretty significant. As for mid lane, you can get this, I mean, you have a more steady source of income, I'd say, as a mid laner. You just waves and shit, you know. So. But I think people will still build this item. It just a slight nerf, and this item is still too strong, man. Chemtech Putrefier. So this is the Grievous Wounds item for supports. Whenever you shield or heal an ally, you give them Grievous Wounds. And the change here is basically it gives 5 more AP now, and also before you would have Grievous Wounds by yourself, but now you need to heal or shield an ally to have Grievous Wounds for yourself. So like, if you use an ability, you're not going to apply Grievous Wounds unless you healed or shield an ally if you build this item. Okay. And then 10 more armor for Frozen Heart, and please no, do not ask if this is a good item for Rise. It's not. I guarantee you this item is shit. Please don't ask. And then support mythics. So this is an overall nerf to the Moonstone Renewer itself. The healing you get from Moonstone Renewer is nerfed, but it buffs your kit if you're like really good at healing and shielding as a champion, because it increases your healing and shielding up to 20% the longer you are in combat. But they also nerfed the mythic passive, as you can see here. Instead of giving ability haste, now it just increases the heal of this item, because it's capped at 60 now, but it increases by 10 for each legendary item, so you can go up to 100 still, but like most supports don't really reach full build, so yeah, I'd say it's a shift in power. I wouldn't say it's really a hard nerf or a hard buff. And then they gave ability haste to Shirelia's and removed the move speed, which is kind of meh for TF, because Twisted Fate sometimes builds this item, although it's a support item, right? And move speed's really important on Twisted Fate, and instead he gets this item gives ability haste. Yeah. Then there's also this empowering or protecting another ally champion, grants your ally and yourself 25% move speed. And then the active no longer grants bonus damage. So actually I think this item is dead for Twisted Fate in general, but it's a pretty good support item. So yeah. And then Staff of Flowing Water, instead of granting move speed, we'll highlight it right here, grants 15% bonus move speed, it now grants 20 ability haste and the same amount of AP. So that's the change to that. And looks like we just about covered everything, guys. Mid lane changes, and just to look back again, there are all the changes lined up. I think I'm gonna test some Vladimir, some Cassiopeia. Probably gonna stay away from Leblanc. I don't know. 20 damage just doesn't cut it, man. It's not enough to make her super strong, you know. And Chemtech Rocketbelt on Vladimir, maybe. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope I gave you some insight into the next patch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.